everyone, and thank you for joining us here on Variant Roles tonight for this very special episode of MCG Mixtape. I am your host and game master, Dan Gaston, at MadSideEM on Twitter. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm excited to play some Invisible Sun, because it's the best game ever. And we've got both some new and returning players, and mostly new characters. So I'm going to let them go around and introduce themselves and who they are playing this evening. And let's start with Matthew.
What's up? Hi, that's me. I am Matthew Foreman. I will be playing. Oh, I use he him pronouns. I will be playing Nigel Vandenberg, who is a bizarre stoic Vance who consorts with demons, and he also uses he him pronouns. So that's it. That's all I got. Thanks.
Perfect. Excellent. All right, let's kick it way over to the other side with Alex.
Hi, friends. I'm Alex, and tonight I will be playing Evie von Weiss, who is an established stoic weaver who converses with everything.
Excellent. Excellent. I am excited. And playing her twin or sibling, we've got Sam.
We're twins. We're creepy identical twins. I am Samantha Darcy. I'm 65th Victor on Twitter. I use she, they pronouns, and tonight I am playing Emil von Weiss, an established stoic of the Order of Weavers who provides a vessel for spirits. And he uses he, him pronouns.
Perfect. And bringing some brand new folks into the actuality, hauling them out of the gray and dumping them in Saturnine, starting with Nat.
Hi, I'm Nat. I use he, him pronouns. I'll be playing. Who are they? They're a teacher. They're an iterant empath of the Order of Weavers who listens to the whispers, and they really just want to remember their name.
Excellent. Well, hopefully we can get them started.
They use he, they pronouns.
Perfect. And last but not least, we have Adam.
Hello, I am Adam. I use he, him pronouns, and tonight I will be playing Dmitry, a connected Vance who warps space and time and a gallant. And they are looking for a mentor. And they also use he, him pronouns.
Excellent. All right. So let's find out a little bit more about these characters and where they live. So we are in Firetown. This is Vislae. So, of course, being the not friends knockoff that we are, everyone lives in this apartment complex, Autumn Run Apartments, in Firetown, which is a district of the city of Saturnine that exists as its own sort of pocket dimension, its own half-world that is only connected to the rest of the city by one point, which is a single archway in a square that goes to the Hollows. So Firetown is always autumn. It is crisp. The leaves are always just starting to change and fall off of the trees, which will be happening soon here where I live. And it is where most of the Vislae live. And so being a Vislae apartment building complex, it is not uniform. All of the apartments are different. It's a mismatch of things stacked on top of one another. People live in odd places. To start, we already know Nigel, but where does Nigel live?
I live in a painting, I believe, in a hallway across from a bathroom, if memory serves. And that in a kind of dark corner somewhere. And that painting is of a nice pastoral cottage. It's actually quite nice.
Excellent. So people enter the painting to get to the pastoral cottage where Nigel lives. So, what about some of the rest of you? I believe a teacher doesn't have a home.
That is accurate.
That's right. So
I woke up today.
You woke up today. So you woke up somewhere in this building. Where in the building did you wake up?
I want to say there was a bench, but it wasn't a normal bench. It was warmer and a little too cozy. It was just so easy to sleep on. Could go for a little more now, in fact.
Excellent. So I think the bench maybe is in the courtyard. There's a very large tree in this sheltered courtyard, and the bench is nearby.
Delightful. I feel like there's tea about the tree, based on Matthew's response.
Another Vislae lives in said tree, but a teacher does not know that. Saying a teacher all the time is going to make me want to talk like, what's his name from Game of Thrones?
Chuck-in Hagar. Yeah,
Hagar.
that's what I keep thinking of too.
A girl. Excellent. Okay. And so what about the twins, Evie and Emil? Do they live together? Do they live in opposite parts of the building? Where do they live in the apartment complex?
No, we live with our family.
Okay.
We live with our family in the penthouse apartment on the top of the building.
Oh, okay. Fancy
We're the
Vislae.
landlord's kids.
We're the landlord's kids.
You're the landlord's kids.
No. It's terrible.
Yeah, we're the landlord's children. Our apartment is always cold, and it's always lit with blue light.
Okay, cold. And
So the
blue light.
closer you get to it, as you go up on the building, the colder it gets until you get to our apartment.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. I like that.
Alex, do you want to add anything? Alex.
No.
Oh, okay.
I think Alex is lagging a little bit with internet. All right. So what about Dmitry?
Dmitry lives in a tiny, small little apartment, not very big, a few rooms, mostly a desk. It's very simplistic.
Okay. So just a simple apartment. Is there any unusual features about it?
I would say the unusual features are that all of the doors are different sizes. No one door is the same. Also, they don't open the same way. So sometimes the handle is on the left, sometimes the handle is on the right, which is very confusing for visitors. It has a little parlor to entertain for tea because he is very connected and therefore has to have guests over to maintain those connections.
Perfect.
Ooh.
All right. I think Alex will, be back momentarily, and I will have to adjust the overlay. That's okay. Okay. So we need to add some more things to our neighborhood as we've had some new characters adding in. So it's always good to add a few different things. First, I think we're going to add a neighbor for the Von Weiss twins. They live in the penthouse, so it might be a neighbor like the apartment underneath them. But we're gonna have Matthew, Matthew, Nat, and Adam. Between the three of you, we need to add, one or two neighbors for the landlord's children.
All right. Well, there's definitely a woman called Mrs. Cricket.
Mrs. Cricket. Okay.
Yep.
And do we have anything in particular about Mrs. Cricket? We'll assume she's a Vislae, because that's the most likely. but she does something. Is she a good neighbor? Is she a bad neighbor?
No, she makes a lot of noise, surprisingly.
Okay,
Mrs.
so she
Cricket
makes a lot of
noise.
She's she's advanced in her years, and she manipulates sound. That's what she does, and
Okay.
she doesn't care who knows it.
Perfect.
But I think she also provides the apartment complex with free pastries, like she bakes. So therefore, we don't try to get her evicted because her pastries are awesome. Whether or not they're good for us is another story, but they taste delicious.
Excellent.
So we wanted to add another one. Is it possible that this other neighbor could be a lacuna?
Sure. Yeah,
They seem cool.
they do indeed. Okay, so we've got another neighbor who is a lacuna. Do we have a name for the lacuna?
I named the last one.
It did.
True.
What is a lacuna for those of us playing the home game?
Yeah, sorry. So the lacuna are one of the people. So broadly speaking, Saturnine has lots of people who inhabit it, who may or may not be human, and lacuna are living holes to elsewhere, and
That's right.
they can control it. They can determine where they exit to, and it can be almost anywhere. So, for instance, a lacuna could turn themselves onto something where it was a raging fire, and all of a sudden, raging fire is blasting out of them. So, lacuna are mysterious, and they live in Saturnine and do lots of regular jobs, but they could be dangerous when they want to be.
I don't have a name, but I think I have I think they have a penchant for viewing places of violence
Okay,
where that tends to be. So obviously that means often the red, but not necessarily only that.
that's right. Yep.
The lacuna's name is Lassiter.
Lassiter.
Yeah.
Master. I like that. Okay. All right. So this sounds like it could be also negative
Yeah, that's fair.
because someone who's walking around displaying scenes of violence a lot is probably a little bit disturbing.
Yeah. And also potentially dangerous.
Listen, the rent's cheap for a reason.
Perfect. Okay. And do we have either a point of interest to add to our neighborhood? So that could be like a monument or a special kind of shop or something like that. Or a current local issue. So like local issues could be like high crime or vandals or young troublemakers. Maybe there's lots of thaw around. There could be construction, anything like that.
And this is in the neighborhood, not the building itself.
Right.
That's right.
I feel like there are lots of thaw around, unfortunately,
Yeah, that seems appropriate.
due to certain people's
Yeah, due to
choices.
certain other actuality players.
It could be anyone. We just, unfortunately, the actuality is too
Not
vast.
calling out any players, but
Too vast to know who specifically, but
it's just bad luck that we have so many here.
All right, perfect. So lots of thaw activity. I like it. All right. So, all of you, at some point when you've basically started your day, so you've woken up, and very, very early, regardless of where you are, and you're not quite sure how it got there, it was seemingly not there one moment and there the next. You just were looking around, starting your day, and it caught your attention. A simple, square, black card. Although it looks like perhaps it's made out of metal. It's a little bit lustrous. It's about the size of something like a credit card from the Gray.
Oh no.
Yeah, now we have
poor Alex.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's capitalism.
Oh no, it's capitalism.
It's come back from the Gray.
Oh god, it's the Amex black card.
It's stronger than Shadow.
Right. Our overlay will fix itself momentarily, folks.
Yeah. So it's just floating there? Is that what you said?
Again.
Poor Alex.
No, it's laying on a surface.
Is this in each of our homes? Or
Yep. Each of
Okay.
you, wherever you happen to be,
Okay.
it was not there one moment, and then you were just looking around and it caught your attention. So it could be on the floor, it could be on a counter. Just all of a sudden it is there.
I will look at mine.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Alex to unfreeze before I can react.
I'll lean myself up and just so tired, and I'll kind of stumble over towards the tree where I'm imagining this thing is, and almost fall over picking it up.
Right. So when you pick up the card and sort of flip it over, on the obverse side, it's still sort of flat, thin black metal, and written in neon, as if it is a neon tubing, writing, and glowing this sort of pinkish purple color. It just says zeros. Admit one.
Alex is restarting. Just so you know.
Is the true same whenever I go and look at my card?
Sorry, what was that?
Is the true same if I go and look at my card?
Yeah, no. Everybody's this is what is on everybody's.
Oh, zeros, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know it says admit one, but I'm gonna go find a date. So I'm gonna go get ready and head down to the nebulous quirk.
Okay. And yes, and everyone would know that zeros is only accessible at night, never during the daytime.
Intriguing.
Night after sunset or night
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Evening.
Well,
So what is everyone doing to prepare?
I'm gonna hold till Alex gets back.
Okay.
If he gets back.
If he's-
So everybody else can go ahead.
For those who don't know, the Nebulous Quirk is the coffee shop at the
Yes.
bottom of this infernal apartment building.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah, that's helpful.
There's a coffee shop known as the Nebulous Quirk. People
It's where
like to
everyone
hang
hangs
there.
out.
Well, this place seems very familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on it. But this is so different. So I don't want to go back to sleep, despite the fact that I'm very, very tired. So I'm gonna go to where I can see individuals. Probably the coffee shop.
Yeah, probably if you wandered around, it would become quite obvious. It's relatively busy. You can imagine there is a bunch of little tables seated around. There's a large picture window kind of at the front, facing out onto the street, which conveniently has sort of facing it a couch and like two upholstered chairs with like a coffee table in the middle. You could almost place a camera in the window and film into it very conveniently.
There's a reference abound.
Am I back?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, thank fucking God.
Dmitry will also go to the Nebulous Quirk with a book.
Can I catch? I'm going to catch Evie
Yeah.
up now. Did
Yeah.
you hear about? Did you hear about the card?
Card?
Okay, so we woke up in the morning in our house, and so I'm going to get breakfast, probably made by a Lacuna or Thought Form. Thought Form.
Yeah,
That's
the
what
Thought
I'm
Form.
thinking of.
You would-
I'm thinking
yeah.
of a Thought Form. Thought Form. And is there only one card?
That's a
We
good
are
question.
two?
If you're frequently together,
Yeah.
but there was probably two cards, but you didn't notice the other person's card. You only noticed one. Like, so
Okay.
you independently noticed and sort of picked them up and then kind of, yeah.
Okay. So there's a black square card with neon writing that says zeros.
You know this is the bar, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Is it an invitation?
I don't know. It looks like it could be. There's nothing very specific.
Do you want to go look for it?
Oh, well, it seems a little mysterious. You have
So
one.
we should go.
Okay,
These have-
but
These have our names on them.
Nope. It just says zeros admit one.
that's a little suspicious. But if you think it's okay, then we can go.
I think it's okay. We should go.
Okay, we will go. But we can't go
We'll go.
till the evening.
No, we should not go until the evening.
Okay. Then why don't we go down to the coffee shop and we can play I forgot what it's called, the spiders game.
I think it would be a great idea to go down to the coffee shop and play the spiders game.
Okay. We will eat breakfast, we will get ready, and we will go play the spiders game.
We will eat breakfast, we will get ready, and go play the spiders game.
God, they really are creepy twins.
I love it. Viscerally.
It's somehow worse than my twins that finished each other's sentences with the repetition. All right. So you're in the coffee shop. So we sort of come back to everyone is there, but separate. Some of you may or may not know each other. A teacher doesn't know anyone other than perhaps a vague sensation of someone being recognizable. That's always possible.
You know what I do think I recognize? I think I recognize the Spiders game.
Yes. And so the question is, what does the Spiders game look like?
Okay, we come downstairs, presumably dressed similarly, and one of us goes to get coffee, and the other one will go set up. We take up an entire corner of the coffee shop with 9 different boards which surround us in a circle, and bust out a whole bunch of various little figures, and I begin setting them up in a weirdly intricate pattern that only makes sense to me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah. So and then eventually, when a teacher walks in, you're sort of both playing in this cockpit of game boards, and like pieces are moving from one board to another and different spaces. But yes, it is a strangely familiar game.
I'm gonna watch them, but like not subtly, because I'm bad at that. Just like
All right.
I imagine that it's a little unsettling just how fast we play it. I think we're only like occasionally glancing at each other and just being like
delightful.
And that might be because we play between each other so often. Like, we're only first degree, so I can't imagine we're, in the grand scheme of things, very good. But I think we just both play each other so often that we know what to do with this matchup and none of the others.
Yeah. You're playing one step ahead because you literally know what the other person is playing, kind of thing. Okay. All right. And does the teacher have their like the card that they just picked up? Do they have it with them, like sort of just in their hand, or they?
Yeah, just kind of holding it a little meekly, like I'm a puppy. Help me. Just a little bit.
So when you come in, there's a sort of meow, and a wrong cat sort of has stalked across the room and brushes up against your leg, sort of displacing some of the swarming ants that constitute their stripes on their bare skin. And their centipede tail sort of flicks out and like wraps around your calf a little bit and kind of like marches up it and then back down as it uncoils, as like several eyes then swivel up and look at you and all blink, but in like a pattern, not all simultaneously.
I think I jump about 2.5 feet in the air. Just okay, I'm awake now. Hi.
And it just
Hi.
it just then sort of sits there and does the very cat thing where it gets all of its feet very close together, and you realize that its front paws are human, like small human hands. And it sits back on its haunches and sort of is grooming itself a little bit. Its centipede tail is wriggling sinuously across the floor.
I will meekly reach down and scritch it under the chin.
And it sort of just goes and purrs a little bit, brushes up against your hand.
Do I know you?
And there's like a thought form behind the bar with like bleached blonde platinum hair cut very close, and just says, that's Mrs. Kilgara. Looks like she likes you. You look like you need a coffee.
I would very much like to wake up. Yes. Coffee.
And sort of pours out a coffee and hands it to you.
Take the coffee and look at the people just fully into the spiders game, just 100% pedal to the metal. Well, I'm only gonna learn if I do. So and then I kind of steel myself and I turn to Dmitry, who is on the side, and sit down across from him reading his book. Hi.
Oh, hello, friend. And
Hi.
snaps the book shut.
What's your name? I'm a teacher. Who are you? Where are we? What time is it?
Ah. Yes, you probably are very confused. I am Dmitry. You are in Saturn in Fartown. This is the Nebulous Quirk. This is where you are actually from. You're waking up, yes?
Yeah, I'm very tired, and I take a good draught of that coffee. Does it taste like coffee, or am I surprised?
Oh no, it in fact, it tastes like the most coffee you have ever had. As if every cup of coffee that you vaguely remember drinking before this was but a pale lie of what coffee should be.
I need to come here more often.
You probably will now.
I got this, and I take out the little card and I put it on the table. What's zeros?
Zeros is complicated. Suffice to say, easiest explanation is it is a bar. But it is also more than that. I suppose technically it is also a demon, but...
Fascinating. Well, I
Yes.
think someone wants me there, so how do I get there?
You must wait for nightfall. The sun must set before you can go inside. But if you stay here, I am sure there are others that will be going. Myself included.
Back to my third question. What time is it?
It
like-
is morning adjacent.
Yeah, it's probably like 9 or 10 in the morning.
Thank you. You're going?
Yes, actually.
You're very kind. Can I go with you?
But of course.
That wasn't a yes.
Nigel, you definitely see the cards on the table.
Yeah. The chips are down.
Yeah, I pulled it out, I showed, and then I put it back in the pocket.
Yeah, but I think it would definitely, for some mysterious reason, catch your eye and attention.
I'm gonna speak up then. I'll say it's a secret, you doinks.
Who are you?
Nigel Vanderberg. Who are you?
I'm a teacher.
Pretty sure he's just woken up.
All right.
I don't think he
From-
likes me very much.
Everyone is different. It's fine.
Ain't that the truth?
So Nigel's gonna look at both of them. Just to describe Nigel. Nigel is rather athletic, blonde librarian-looking type, a kind of a twunkish nerd. Who one of his arms is a Vanta black demonic arm that has tentacles where fingers would be.
Oh.
I'll put out my demon arm and say, "You're not supposed to talk about zeros. If you go on blabbing about it, you're not likely to get invited back. Now, are you? It's not much of a secret bar. If everyone knows where it is.
Maybe they should include that it's a secret on it.
How did your invitation arrive?
I just found it. on the ground.
What was it
in a
like?
Tree.
Yeah, but what was it?
I just noticed it. It was. I hold up the thing.
Yeah, a floating black metallic card out of nowhere with neon writing.
Is it so much to expect direct communication?
Yes, it's a Saturnine. Why would any?
Not to interrupt, but
No, you
I
shouldn't.
I think he has just arrived from Chateau.
Everyone's got a game or a con they're playing. I don't.
This is very
Very what?
cynical.
Dmitry, you're a Vance, and you're connected. Is one of your connections to the Vancian Order?
I would say, because I don't want to be cheesy and make my level 3 connection to the Vancian Order, I would say one of my level 1 connections to the Vancian Order.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to just like cheese it and be like, oh, I just have a level 3 connection so that I don't have to do. That's why I have a character arc of fine.
Yeah. For sure.
Don't you also get a free level 1 just for being a Vance?
Oh, that's true. I do automatically get a connection to the Vancian Order. That's true.
Yeah, so you could put your other level in and have it be like a level 2 connection.
Okay.
Yep.
Updating the character sheet.
So because the question is, Nigel is a Vance, and so there's a chance that you might know Nigel, like who they are.
Sure.
By reputation. Essentially.
The bad boy of the Vancian Order.
That's right. So if we want to see, I think this could be a good opportunity to have our first roll of the evening. Because this would be a check. So this would be like, Nigel's not super obscure.
Okay.
Nigel's what? Second rank?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, which I mean, even the bulk of Vances are like 0th rank, right? So even as a level 1, you're sort of above the cut. But I'm gonna say that like he's not famous, so we'll set this at like a level 5 challenge. It's like middling knowledge if you would know who Nigel is and anything about them.
Okay, and so I have level 2 connections, so that brings it down to.
Yeah, so we start building your venture, and we put everything in that we could. So a connection, obviously, in this case, would apply. So we're starting with a venture of 2. But do you have any skills that might apply here?
My skills, other than the free Vancian skill, are the only one that might apply is persuasion, but probably not really.
No, it'd be something along the lines of like, social knowledge or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
That's coming. That's what my acumen might be spent on.
Absolutely. Now, of course, if you have any spells related to revealing knowledge, you could always apply that.
Unfortunately, I do not.
Okay. And you could spend Bene from your intellect pool if you wanted to.
I think I will save the Bene.
Okay. All right, so you've got a venture of 2. And of course, you could spend an enhancement from sortilege as well if you wanted to magically fuel your memory a little bit. But otherwise, our venture is 2. So yes, that will subtract off. So bring the 5 down to a 3, and you'll be rolling 1 dice, and you just need 3 or higher.
Oh, no.
That's funny. That's a 4.
Okay. All right. So yes, you've heard of Nigel. You know that Nigel is considered a both a promising Vance in terms of ability, but a little bit of a black sheep. Also, fairly recently deceased.
But he does not appear deceased.
Well, Nigel probably has, other than the Vanta black arm, has probably a bit of a pallor about them. and
Okay.
a very nasty like scar across their neck.
This was
Mm.
my like, oh, welcome to
Unless
Invisible Sun moment.
yeah, unless Nigel is hiding it. That's up to Nigel.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so then after I say that is very cynical, I will kind of kick back, and Dmitry will look at. Oh, Nigel. Oh, I have heard of you.
I've heard of you, sir.
I have
believe
heard
is
of you, sir.
There we go. You should respect your betters.
I would say that you are higher level than me. I do not have heard that you are better than me.
Nigel's gonna lean in. I can show you if you'd like.
No. I do not need demonstrations of power. I fully understand that you are more powerful than me. That does not make you better than me.
All right. Yes. You've heard of me. A lot of people have heard of me.
You are quite advanced.
Yeah. It's just what I'm good at. Maybe moving up here pretty soon.
Congratulations. Moving up is something I aspire to.
Yeah. I'm pretty close. I just gotta do a few things. Been working on a new spell.
Oh, is there anything a fellow Vance might help you with?
Oh, that'd be great, but I'm not going to tell you in front of a weaver. Or whatever this one is.
I kind of like that you can just tell. That's fun.
This is fair,
What?
but the offer is still genuine. Perhaps I could invite you to my house for tea sometime.
All right. If you don't mind being put on a list.
I have ways of removing myself from lists.
Then your house it is. Should I bring anything? Sugar? Cream?
Whatever you like.
Cream it is then.
So over in the corner where the Weaver's game is happening, the wrong cat, Mrs. Kilgara, has jumped up on one of the game boards, scattering pieces, and has just reached out with one human hand, picked up one of the game pieces, and thrown it on the floor. And is just looking back and forth between Evie and Emil.
I'm looking back and forth between the wrong cat and Emil.
I think she wants to play the game of spiders. Spiders game. My bad. Spiders game.
Does she know how to play the spiders game, brother?
I don't know. Why don't we ask her if she knows how to play the spiders game?
We should ask her. Do you know how to play the spiders game?
So the wrong cat sort of just looks at you and tilts their head to the side, and then sort of walks off, like so that they're standing kind of on the table and off of the game board. And while looking at you, sort of slides their hand under the game board and flips the whole thing off the table.
I think it's just a cat.
I think it's just a cat.
She owns the place.
I look over at Nigel. Assuming you said that.
Yeah, I did.
No.
Yeah.
She is a cat and yet she owns property.
Is the nebulous quirk like attached to Autumn Run Towers?
Yeah, it's like on the ground floor.
I'm gonna get up and go over and pick up the board and start placing the pieces back where they were.
And Mrs. Kilgara, the cat, occasionally, like you go to put a piece, and they reach out their hand and guide you over to a different spot and sit it down in like a subtly different place than it was originally.
I'm gonna turn to the cat. Do you want that one to win or that one to win?
And it doesn't answer you, but just it keeps kind of guiding. And by the time you get the pieces back, it's a slightly different arrangement, but it has dramatically changed the game. The game is now in a 3-player orientation.
Oh, fancy.
Okay.
But by the way, I did turn a Sooth card, and we played the Blind Guardian. The Blind Guardian watches over us like a protector.
Maybe the. Are you going to play the spiders game?
I know how. Is that what it's called?
Well,
I sit down,
if
kind
you
of almost like awkwardly, just like,
in the circle.
yeah.
All right. Very well. Shall we play the spiders game with him?
We should play the
Or
spiders game with
them.
you.
Sorry.
Them.
Him works. Him, them, both work.
Sorry. I don't actually know what way to play the spiders game.
Reach out, and
No one
I reach
knows.
out
Yeah.
and we fade to black.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Uh,
multiple people
Everyone-
here own the black cube, and we still don't know how to play that game.
Yeah.
Everyone in
I
the
think
coffee
that's the
shop
point.
looks over and sees us doing something different.
Yes.
It-
I
Nobody
like that.
except the Weavers can agree on what's actually going down.
That's right. No, and I think that is one of the things with the Spiders game is to outside observers who don't know, it's like utter gibberish.
It's
but-
Calvin Ball.
Yeah.
Owns
but-
Dunshire.
But while a teacher is playing, Mrs. Kilgara, the wrong cat, continues to sit sort of like perched, has actually made its way, if you ever sit down, to like perching in your lap. And occasionally as you go to make a move, the wrong cat goes and like slaps your hand. And then
Rude.
and if you continue to try and make that move, it will keep doing that. But if you go to make a slightly different move, so it's doing the whole like correction thing.
No, you're a very controlling. Actually, that tracks. If the coffee was just more coffee, you just the ultimate form of a cat.
I like how she's not talking today. She's in a mood.
Like,
I'm gonna
do a different
say-
move.
Well, I think that wrong cats don't normally speak. Nigel is the only person here that knows Mrs. Kilgara's secret.
Oh, that's right. I should keep my big mouth shut yet, but I'm not going to.
But I-
'cause Nigel. I'm gonna say, hey, Miss Kilgara, you still raw about me getting over you on that deal?
Oh, that's right, you did, didn't you?
Yeah. My fake me is trapped in a mirror somewhere.
That's right. She looks pointedly at you and sort of like licks her lip and looks at the bathroom door and then looks back at you, and her mouth is split by a very, very wide grin that stretches and stretches a little bit more, revealing just like shark, like row on row of teeth that go back. And then she sort of just adjusts and then is like grooming herself.
Yeah, I'll make it up to you someday, I promise.
And so, as you were all watching the Spiders game, out sort of aware, it seemed to catch your attention. And the coffee shop is sort of gradually emptied out. And then you realize that it's dusk. Like the sun has gone down in Fartown.
Time flies when you're miserable in a coffee shop.
When the sun goes down, you will see Dmitry visibly wince because my protections have all gone away.
You're not feeling 100% there.
I take certain precautions in the morning that are no longer available to me.
Oh, you like say a prayer to the Path of Suns or something?
Something is better than what you said, yes.
So, what? So you want to help me? What do you want in return?
Well, just as you are hoping to advance your career, I am also hoping to advance. And while I have traveled and got to know people, I unfortunately do not know many in the Vancian Order that are higher than me.
Well, I'm about to be higher than you. Well, I am higher than you. I'm about to be another rung higher than you. And when I make it to Magister, I'm happy to stretch my hand backwards and pull you with me.
I could see the benefit of this. Yes, and I would do anything I could to help you in your research endeavors.
Good. As long as you're a good apprentice, a good student, I think we'll be all right. And I even could teach you a secret or two along the way.
I am always a fan of learning secrets. But they usually come at a cost.
Nigel's gonna sit back and put his hand over the massive scar on his neck.
Yeah, and you will see Dmitry is like looking pointedly at the fact that your neck is destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They really do. You want to go get drunk at the secret bar?
Look outside. It seems that it is almost time. Though I promised the newly arrival that he could come with me, since he has no idea what he is doing.
You want to make it a 3-way?
3 is usually the least that I participate in, so sure.
All right. Hey, creepy twins. Yeah, you two over there. Oh, I look around like, you see any other creepy twins in this room?
And like literally, it's the 5 of you. And this is Kilgara. The rest of the place is emptied out.
Yes. Do you need something from us?
And then Nigel looks at the other one to wait for them to speak.
Do you need something from us, degenerate man?
There it is. Just wanted to make sure you had time to complete your wavelength or whatever's going on there. We're going to Zeros. Did you get an invite too?
Oh, look, brother. This one also got an invite.
This one also got an invitation.
Oh, God, Mike. It's going to be 5 hours
So
of
did this one.
Yeah, there's no coincidences in the actuality, people. We're all here for a reason.
Perhaps we should accompany them to Zeros.
I think we should accompany them to Zeros.
Good. This game's almost over. I gesture to the board, which looks not discernibly different from when we started.
Thank you for playing the Spiders game with us.
Mrs. Kilgara moves a piece, and when she does, you all realize that she
She's
just
won.
There it is. There it is.
That was pretty good.
It's Kilgara in the study the whole time.
I start petting the cat. You're a very good weaver.
She is a very good weaver.
She does that, like, sort of shakes herself.
And she is.
Oh,
Cat.
ants and all.
But with hairless and with more eyes.
Yeah, and a centipede tail.
I mean,
And a centipede tail.
That's what I just saw, so I don't know what y'all talking about.
Do we all leave
Let's
to go to Zeros? Do we know how to find Zeros? Like, is it a prominent location?
So you would all know this. So Zeros isn't. So there's another place that's the secret bar. Zeros.
right.
Anyone who goes looking for it finds it. Now the entrance to it is in a different place all the time, and Zeros itself changes. In Saturnine, Zeros only ever connects to Fartown, none of the other districts in the city, but it does occasionally connect, or perhaps anyone can enter it, to other suns. So you might sometimes enter from the gold or something like that. Regardless of where you enter Zeros from, you always leave through the same place. And most of the residents appear to be from the same general area. So if you enter from Fartown, it's mostly full of Fartown folk. So it's really just a matter of actively wanting to go to Zeros and sort of just letting your feet take you where they will in Fartown.
So I'll just say, like, well, let's head there and just like walk towards it.
I like to think that we all start walking in different directions, but we all end up there regardless.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So you all take somewhat winding routes through the city. Probably some of you together, but you probably at least split into like two separate groups. And find your way back. You all find yourself in entering one of the like squares, like city squares of Fartown. It has currently in the middle of the square is a large school of golden fish swimming in the air with like bubbles of water rising up from them and disappearing into the sky above. And you know that there's an alley on the far side where you're all headed. You just feel drawn to this alley. But in the middle of the square, currently, there are two Vislae that appear to be engaged in some sort of duel. They each have sortiers out, and magical energy is crackling back and forth between them. And various people have sort of are in the process of like scattering out of the square, except a small pocket that is watching. But out of the corner of your eye, crossing the now rising moon, you see a cluster of humanoid figures astride what appear to be unmoving horses.
Fuck.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, we have nothing to do. That it's fine.
I assume from the reaction that these are the Ta.
Yeah.
See, Nat assumed that, but the teacher doesn't know shit.
A teacher doesn't know. And they're like rapidly approaching. So they're like gradually getting bigger, and then you start to see glints of gold and like red coats fluttering in behind them.
I am not going to approach that alley or that duel. I'm just gonna like put myself, around the corner and try to listen in or peek, around. I'm interested in the drama, but I'm not about it. Not new.
You want a tea, but you don't want to be involved.
Correct.
Can I use like secret knowledge? Can I use that to actually like know things? Like,
Yep. We would go to a role where you're trying to do something else, and you can spend secret knowledge like you spend Bene.
okay. I'm just freaking out. Like,
So what are you trying to figure out what you
So
might know?
I was looking to learn something that informs me why I need to go over there. I don't know what that is.
Okay, sure. So like why you're drawn to the alley.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I don't want to
So
just walk out there like Nigel's being all careful, and I'm like,
yeah, okay. So do you want to know about the alley or about the approaching people?
approaching people.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, we'll say this is probably pretty easy, even for like a essentially like not really amnesiac, but like a Vislae
Yeah.
that's kind of
So this
still
does
muddy-headed.
this also like represents like memories coming back.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna say this is like a level 4.
Okay.
The Thaw are pretty well known. And so any skills you have, like around memory or knowledge, you can apply. You
The
can
only one
spend
I'm
Bennett.
looking at is non-conventional magic that all weavers have.
No, not in this case.
Okay.
The Thaw are something else. So you can spend Bennett from intellect, and yes, you can also spend your hidden knowledge.
All right. And then so that adds 1 to my venture, so I need to roll 3, right?
So the Bennett from intellect, if you spend it, will add 1, and if you spend hidden knowledge, that will add again.
Just doing the hidden knowledge one.
Just the hidden knowledge. Okay. Yep.
Hey, look, I rolled a 3.
Yeah, so you just have this like rush of memory that comes back of these golden skinned, red cloaked enforcers. You have the impression of them being like government, Gestapo almost. They don't investigate crimes, they just show up to quell problems and chaos, but they do it with brutal efficiency. Their very touch can bring you pain. And there's 6 of them. Like it's a full-on squad.
Yeah, I want to go find out what they're ending.
Okay. So you wander into the square.
Can we determine if this duel is like to the death, or if these are 2 Vislae that are just like dicking around, or like what is the level of
Yeah.
violence about to happen?
It looks like it is very violent. Like two Vislae who are intent on doing each other great harm.
Yep. Dmitry will try to walk towards them to try and talk to them.
What about the Wonder Twins?
He will cast something as he goes.
Okay. We'll circle back to that in a moment.
I have an idea, and I don't know if it's a good one.
The question is it an interesting one?
Maybe, depending on how, I don't know. Could I attempt to weave secrets and stone and try to get like the actual summary of like what's really happening here, like written on like a wall in front of me, like carved into the stone?
All right, so you've
That's
got your
possible.
tower and heart.
Yes.
Yeah, so you want to read secrets and stone.
Yeah, I want to literally write the secrets on the nearest stone structure that I can find.
Perfect.
That's epic.
And so you want to figure out what's going on. So divination. I'm gonna say this is probably pretty easy because it's pretty open. So I'm gonna say this is only like a level 3 effect.
Okay.
And so it's short range. And no, sorry, it's touch. So because your 2 aggregates range is touch.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind like walking up to a wall and just pressing it. That does not bother me at all.
Yeah, so but the question is like it's more about you're trying to get the information extracted from what this duel that's happening,
Yeah, true.
right?
Yeah.
Now, so actually this is probably just a level 2 effect.
Mhm.
Now to up that's range, it just increases the level.
Sure.
So if you wanted to go short range, right, that'd be level 3. If you wanted to go a bit further, it would be level 4.
How far away is the duel?
It's fairly far away, so if you wanted to do it from here, I would say it's a level 4 effect.
Are there any like alleys or other nooks that I could dip into that aren't immediately visible to the Thaw, but also might be-
No.
Okay.
Because it's a square. By the
I'm
way,
good.
I did play a new Sooth card as we came on here, and it's the tyrannical clock. So the one that has a big old mean looking cat sitting on top of a clock. The magic is invisible, so actually everything is enhanced right now. So all magic is enhanced. So that'll add +1 to your venture. And it's notions, cats, clocks, and winds. So if notions is your family, then you also have an enhancement of +1. And it's appropriate because a tyrannical clock, and we live and die by time, and you are under pressure. All right, so I'm going to swap back our Zoom windows here.
I tried to hit
Adam,
mute and I hit stop video instead. Sorry.
That's okay.
Unfortunately, they're right next to each other.
Okay. All right. And so we'll resolve that in a moment. And what spell was Dmitry casting?
Dmitry is casting his beta spell, and it has to leave his mind because I don't have enough sorcery to keep it.
Okay.
Zamara's Familiar Speech. It's a level 5 spell. When I speak, those nearby hear me in their native language. Moreover, they hear me speak with the voice of their closest loved one, granting me +1 on all persuasion actions with a depletion.
Okay. All right. So, Evie, you go ahead and you can spend 4 sorcery.
Sure.
And we're not going to need to roll because between what your venture is and everything, like this is just going to happen. So as you start kind of scrawling in the stonework, and it's only going to appear momentarily and then it's going to fade out because it's a short duration spell. But you get sort of this picture of these 2 Vances that are fighting because one betrayed the other. It was a master and apprentice. And the master threw the apprentice under the bus. And they are dueling to the death.
That's really interesting. All right.
All right. So that sort of gets scrawled out.
So Dan, I have a moment
Yeah.
of clarity here. You probably didn't look at my character sheet, but I have a quirk.
Yep. What is your
I see the
Vislae
previous
quirk?
minute of my life transposed over the present minute. So I see both at once sometimes.
Yep.
Is this me seeing farther than a minute ahead of time?
Hey,
It is not.
hey, Nigel has never betrayed anybody.
I just disbelieve that offhand, Matthew.
It's true from my perspective.
Oh, God.
That would be good, but I think this is more what we call foreshadowing than All right. So what do you do when you go out to like yell at them, finger wag, and get them to behave?
So Dmitry, with his cane, kind of like walks in and like bangs it on the ground, like trying to get their attention, and says, "Oi! The Ta are coming. You do not want to do this." I know that violence seems like the right action, but not now. And they hear in both their own languages and their loved ones, like calming, soothing, like, no, don't do this. Why would you ever want to do this? Kind of. And hopefully they don't hear it in their own voice, like each other's voices, because they were their loved ones. Like that would be really bad.
That'd be a good shift.
I think the younger Vance says something like "mom," and the the older Vance says something like "husband" or like a name, but yeah.
They're so wait, the two fighting are literally Vances.
Yes.
And not Goetics, not Makers, not just okay,
Oh,
great.
Two Vances having a wizard duel.
Wait a minute.
All right. So you get what +1 to your persuasion?
+1 of my persuasion actions.
Okay.
I have a level of skill in persuasion.
Okay. So that's a
that's at
venture
least
of 2. And you can spend Bene from your interaction.
Do I get to know what level, or is this a blind?
I think this one's going to be blind.
Okay. I can only spend 1, but I will spend 1 Bene from my interaction pool.
Okay.
I'm I think this is how this works, because the last time I played this is how this works. I can sortilege for him, right?
Absolutely, you can.
I was gonna do that.
Oh no, you go ahead. You go ahead. You have more than I do.
Nigel
have
just
more than I do.
stared. Yeah, well, I do. Nigel will just stare daggers at you and give his baby boy a sortilege.
So that means I get to roll 2 dice, right?
Yeah.
That means you'll be rolling 2 dice.
No.
Yeah.
Also gonna say, like, don't throw your lives away. You only get 1.
That's not true.
I don't know it. That's funny. That's why I said
That's
it.
Vislae, that's not true.
And I will just shout, "That's not true."
We need to have a cup of tea sometime.
So yeah, I think that's all I can do to this venture.
Okay. So you've got a venture of 3 and rolling 2 dice.
And not one of them is not magical, right? Or do I have
That's
to,
right.
because it's sortilege, it's magical or not magical?
So the first dice, right, is not magical, but because of the enhancement, that second dice you're adding is.
Okay. So
So-
that's right.
And the spell doesn't add an extra die despite being magic unless it says it does.
Well, no.
Oh.
So if it says +1 die, it's just a reminder that you'll probably need to roll dice with that spell. Usually magic always adds a die, but I think in this case the spell, all it did was give the +1 to the persuasion.
And they get to hear me in their native tongues in case they don't
Yeah.
speak what I speak.
But no, I think that's still it. Yeah, it should add it. So you're rolling 3 dice.
Mm.
It does not say +1 die though.
No, but it
Okay.
doesn't have to. It's a yeah. We've had that
This is-
clarified in discussions on Cypher Unlimited.
This is also the epitome of
Oh.
Monty Cook design, having run a
Okay.
Numenera campaign for a couple years.
Correct.
So I did not roll a 0 on the magic die, but I did roll a 6, a 2, and a 3.
Okay, you only need 1 success anyway, so the 6 would be quite high because that would effectively be anything. It'd have to be 10 or higher. So yeah, so they hear this voice come out in their loved ones, and it sort of like immediately cuts through what they were doing, and you see sort of they were like mid casting of spells, which has gone awry as they stop their duel. The question is, what happens with their magic? So I've played another Sooth card to guide us, and we've played the Eternal Mountain, unchanging, solitude, memory, eternal, long life. The mountain stands alone and unchanging. Divination, a challenge that lies ahead is insurmountable. A structure or object remains strong and intact. Okay, I think that what happens is their magic that goes awry, whatever living Vancian spells that just escaped their mind, converged on this school of fish that are in the air. and struck it, and all of the fish sort of get glued together and merge and become this like one giant fish, but it goes from being a living fish to becoming like a statue or a monument of some kind. And it doesn't fall, it's just floating in the air, just turned into this perfect fish statue. And the two Vislae just then kind of like look at you in confusion and look to the sky and see the thaw coming and just say, "Oh shit."
Yeah, maybe I'll walk up and be like, yeah, maybe fighting to the death in the middle of the street was not the best idea here.
And they look like they're basically about to run off, like scatter.
I have another bad idea.
Yep.
So, is it obvious which one of these two is less powerful than the other?
Yes, the younger Vance.
Okay. Was this Vance's spell book visible at any moment?
Probably not. They
Okay.
probably. I imagine most Vances keep them sort of
Yeah.
tucked away somewhere.
Okay. Then never mind.
Watch
Okay.
yourself.
Check yourself
Naughty,
before you
naughty.
wreck yourself. All right, so they scatter, and as they do, you notice the thaw kind of like slow, and then turn away.
That is, well, you know what? There are no coincidences. Fuck me. That is the second time Thaw had been coming for a Vance in my presence.
It ended well.
Yeah, it was great. I look up to the big fish statue.
At least it was not one of us.
Yeah,
It's rotating.
Oh, damn it.
Of course it is.
It's
Someone
the
give
most
that.
fish statue I've ever seen.
Someone give that damn statue a name. Yeah, the last Vance got killed.
Well, there is an opening.
There's an opportunity for forward advancement in the order, and I plan to take advantage of that opportunity. I just need a little something more.
Didn't you get killed?
Yes, I got killed, but not by the thaw, please. Never
Gilbert.
mind. He just named the fish, and I point at the future.
Dilbert. Damn it, Nat.
Yeah, I did get killed, but I didn't get killed by the thaw or any representative of any kind of institution. Really.
All right.
What killed you?
I'll look at
There's
him,
also secrets.
them. No. I'll look at them and say, trust. Trust killed me. And I'll go in the bar.
All right. So on the far side it was this alley, and like just a little way into the alley is just a plain wooden door, and there's a neon light above it flickering that says zeros. Or sorry, not zeros, just 0. And in the door is just like a little inset window with like a barred grate over top of it. But the door opens when you touch it.
Do our cards disappear as we walk through the door?
They do indeed. And Nigel, as you like open the door and step in, like music comes sort of like thumping out. It's a deep bass driven, like, you know, jazz montage. And a wrong cat Mrs. Calgara sort of just like thump, like runs in between your feet and runs into Zeros. And you can swear that she looks back over her shoulder at you, and a bunch of her eyes just like wink at you, and then she like goes to sort of dart into the club.
She's up to something, as
So does
usual.
one of us not get to go in now? Did that take one of the admittance? Is that just walking in confused, asking too many questions?
Come on in. Come on in.
I'll just walk in.
Yeah, so as you go in, Zeros tonight has the appearance of something of a cross between a modern like dance club and like 1920s speakeasy. There's lots of like wood tables. It's dimly lit, but there's also like glaring neon. And there is like a band on stage playing. It's very bass heavy for jazz.
Basically, Baz Luhrmann's Great Gatsby.
Yes, although I'll admit I have not seen that movie.
It's so good.
The aesthetic is correct.
Yeah.
Club jazz.
Yeah, it's club jazz for sure. And there is a single bar, and there is a single bartender at it, and it looks kind of basically like a human male, slicked back hair, has glasses on, simple white shirt, but the sleeves are rolled with like the little bands holding it up.
Dmitry will order the equivalent of scotch.
Yeah. So the bartender sort of looks at you. And says, well, special today is wardrobe change.
You do not know if I am familiar with that.
Are
What
you
is
amenable
entailed?
to change?
Some change, yes.
Well, sort of spoils the effect if I tell you what it does.
Very well. I will have one.
He sort of pulls out a strangely twisted bottle that has all of these like images of clothing on it in different styles, and pours out a multicolored liquid, sort of swirls, almost like it's got smoke and crafted in it. Pours it in like a just a nice solid, whiskey type glass, and slides it across.
A shot, or do I sip this?
Well, its most potent effect is the first drink, but then you can sip and enjoy it.
Very well. And I will just like cheers and sip and like take a healthy sip of the first sip.
Okay. What's Dmitry wearing?
I picture Dmitry wearing sort of what I'm wearing, except nicer. Cut suit, like kind of a undone slight tie. He has slick back black hair with a shock of white that kind of goes through one side, dusty gray on the sides, sort of like I'm getting, and and just nice cut suit that is tailored.
Okay. So what happens after you take that first drink and it sort of tingles down and this magical energy radiates through you? The clothes you are wearing vanish, but are instantaneously, like, so you're not naked at the bar, instantaneously replaced with something entirely new. Not from your own wardrobe at home. This is like an entirely new outfit, something you've never worn before in your life. So what is Dimitri's new outfit?
How different is this? Like, is it different in the sense that like this is not something even Dmitry would ever own, or is it just different?
They should be suitable, so it should be something that Dmitry would wear, but it should be very different. So like not just subtly different, but a quite dramatic change, but suitable.
I would say it would be the equivalent of like professorial, like old school professorial robes and like attire.
Yes.
Where
so it's very Vancian.
Very, very Vancian, very like dramatic cuffs and sleeves and like billowy. Essentially what I wear on graduation day. I could go upstairs and change into it. But like just this huge garment that is just very, and like the clothes are slightly different underneath. Like it's not a suit anymore. It's a button up and slacks, but there's different kinds of slacks. Maybe even like chalk dust appears on like near the pockets because of like where you lecture and you write on chalk on the chalkboards, and so you accumulate chalk dust.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Absolutely. All right. So the bartender like gestures at like a chalkboard that has like the drink specials of the day along with their associated costs. So the rest of you can decide what you want. And today, Zero is serving a death, high water, red wine, roulette, ubara, wardrobe change, and white noise.
I already produced enough white noise. What's the death one like?
So he tells you that it has distilled essence of death.
I swear to God, if it kills me, it's not going to be good.
No, totally harmless.
Even to the dead?
Absolutely. It's experiential.
I will have some. I'll pay for Dimitri's and mine.
Okay. So it's like, a handful of orbs.
Okay.
And he pulls out like a small bottle and uncorks it. It's basically like a single serving. So like we call them a Mickey here. The little like airplane, or a hotel bar, pulls it out and empties one in, and it's like a smoky, kind of thick liquid.
I will drink it. Drink it,
Right.
Ian.
So like each one is unique. It's the distilled essence of a person's death.
Anyone I know?
So I did play a card for entering zeros, which was the Swan, elegant and serene. So that's why we had the jazz bar. But I think we should see what the nature of this death was with a Sooth card.
There are no coincidences.
That's right. Imprisoning ice, which normally red magic is enhanced. Notions, cats, clocks, and winds. Entrapment, imprisonment, danger, and conflict. The environment holds you fast when you are trapped in the ice. So yes, this was literally the distilled essence of a Elderbryn who was trapped in a single form, which the Elderbryn are shape changers. So this is perhaps one of the most excruciating things that an Elderbryn could really experience, being trapped in a single form. And we're also like physically confined and trapped and pinned in some sort of rock fall in the red, and they were consumed.
Oh, it's a bad way to go. Dead in the red. And I will finish it, and I think Nigel enjoys every last drop. especially since it enhances red magic. The experience does
Yeah.
because of the Sooth
Yeah.
card.
Yeah, it sort of, you can feel it tingling in your soul. What do a teacher and the twins drink?
I was looking at that death one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds interesting.
All right. He pulls out another tiny bottle and uncorks it and pours in the syrupy liquid.
How many of those you got back there?
A few.
Okay.
No shortage of death in the actuality.
Death is has a tendency of following us.
There's only two certainties in the actuality: death and corruption.
I'm just glad it's not taxes. I'll drink to that.
Such a gray concept. So I've played another Sooth card for this drink, and it is the Revealing Knife. Visions, it's the magic of the pale. The Revealing Knife cuts everything. It slices through buildings or mountains as easily as paper or flesh. A secret is revealed, or at the very least, there is a secret that might be revealed. As you drink this, you get a vision. You see someone in what looks like a military type uniform. And the face is familiar. You can't quite recognize it. It's blurry, but it feels like you should be able to recognize it. And there is a unit patch on the jacket, and it is a red spearhead. And as you drink it, your sort of perspective sort of shifts into this like soldier's perspective, and you have the sensation of being pulled apart piece by piece, like in the gray you would say something like atom by atom, but that's bullshit. That's not real. But just ripped apart and disintegrated with this essence of like raw hatred. Like something that hates life itself. And then you sort of come back.
So very familiar. I'm tired again. Oh. Thank you.
And that vision of like the red spearhead symbol is kind of like lodged in your brain. It feels like it is very important to you.
Yep. Wrote that one down.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to drink, sister?
Are we old enough to drink?
Sure. Fine.
So it's Saturnine. You know how laws go in Saturnine. Very few things are actually illegal.
Yeah, I just thought it was worth asking.
I'm assuming you're adults. I really don't want to have to deal with consequences if you're children.
We're not children.
No.
Drinking age is a shadow concept.
That's right.
That's right.
Here, everyone is old enough to drink their way into the experience of an excruciating death.
I don't want death.
I don't want death either.
What is roulette? Is it a random effect?
That would be fun.
Yeah, sort of. He says that every sip's different.
That one.
I think we should get roulette.
I think we should get roulette.
All right. So he pours out of a bottle and slides it across, and basically, like, the color and consistency of the drink seems to constantly shift in the glass.
What did I do?
How much is in each like glass? Like how much
Like-
actual drink?
Like, these are basically like cocktail type
Mhm.
servings.
I think I should have half of mine, and you should have half of yours, and then we can trade.
I think we should have half of each.
That's what we're doing. Let's go.
All right. So, like, as you drink them, they basically shift through, like, the flavors of lots of different alcohols, including mundane ones. So, like, it tastes like rum, and then the next drink tastes like tequila, and then it tastes like wine, and then it tastes like beer, and then it tastes like a fancy cocktail. And it has no other effect other than that, but, like, literally every sip is different through the whole thing.
Well,
I
which-
like yours better.
I like yours better.
So as you're sort of finishing up your first round of drinks, all of a sudden there is a commotion out sort of on the floor of the club. And when you swing your attention over, you see that there's a table around which is seated a cluster of about 8 child-sized insect people in very nice suits, like pinstriped, double-breasted suits. They look almost like little gangsters, like little 1930s gangsters, but they are literally like beetles. They've got insect heads, they've got little insect hands coming out. They're 6-limbed, so they're like 4 arms and 2 legs essentially. They walk around bipedally. And they're in the midst of arguing with a very defiant looking wrong cat that is seated in the middle of their table, like square in the middle of the table. And they've got something that looks like chips and like cards. Like, it looks like they're essentially playing poker. And the wrong cat is perched on the pot, like just perched like a dragon on its hoard. And they're arguing with it. From your vantage point, they're arguing with it in a language that I think probably none of you know.
Oh, I need to roll depletion because I can maybe speak to them in a language that I don't know.
Okay.
Nope, it didn't deplete, so technically my spell is still going.
Okay. So you can speak to them, but I think it doesn't give,
No,
you
yeah.
can't understand. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm fluent in the language I learned in a dream, but I haven't found anybody yet who speaks it.
Ooh. Interesting. There's no coincidences in the actuality. Let's see what the Sooth card has to say.
There you go.
That's a good response to I don't know.
All right, so we've played the Savage Sword.
One of my things is blades as a empath.
What is? Oh, your is that your heart?
Yeah.
The blade. So it's visions, which is swans, blades, and water. Yep. War, savagery, strength, violence, and brute force. Absolutely, yes. You speak this language.
I don't know what it is, but I understand what they're saying.
That's right. They're accusing the wrong cat, who they seem to be referring to with a word that means the disguised one or the deceiver. And they're accusing her of of betraying them, and attempting to like extort them and steal their hard-won spells.
Can
And one of
I
the-
tell?
And
Oh,
one
go
of them also says, besides, you don't even have a soul. You can't cast these spells.
Can I ascertain if this is the same wrong cat?
Oh, it's absolutely the same wrong cat. I'm not even going to make you roll. It's absolutely Mrs. Kilgara.
Well, I like her, so
And she's not speaking. She's just staring at them.
I'm gonna turn to Nigel, who seems like the one who can kick the most ass among us. Go. Mrs. Kilgara is being accosted by those. I don't know what they are. You probably do. Okay, we should go. Be present in case help needs to be provided.
I think Nigel does know what they are.
I've encountered these ones before. And
Yeah.
is this the same gang? The same gaggle?
It's probably not the same gang. Let's, again, go to the Sooth card.
Yeah, there it is.
Damn, rolled so many sooth cards. So many sooth cards.
Oh
We're
yeah.
gonna hit the hand one pretty soon here, right?
What's your heart?
Mine? Like, it's stoic. I'm a stoic.
Yeah. So what's your what's your thing? Notions, mysteries.
Mysteries Ratmere.
Okay, so we've played the Sovereign of Notions,
Bow 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 bow.
which is the monarch. The monarch stands above all and passes judgment. If one is going against the status quo, this card turn is likely very unwanted. A ruler or authority figure becomes involved in the matter at hand.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna nope out of here.
Wow, this
Drew
game
both
is fun.
this and the Savage
So-
Sword last Saturday.
I love
Yeah.
how I just walked up and said, "Hey, we should go over there," and then
Yeah.
that happens.
Yeah, so this is the gang that of Dadel that you had encountered before and won a bunch of bets off of.
Won a whole bunch of bets off of. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna say oi in demon language to Mrs. Kilgara. I'm gonna say, oi, you want a hand with this lot? I'm gonna give her a wicked smile.
And she looks over and grins even wider and says, "Oh yes, please."
I'm perfectly willing to help. I'm sure they did you wrong, but you gotta leave my friend alone. And I'm gonna, if there is a mirrored surface, I'm gonna look over to it.
Oh yes, there's a big mirror behind the bar,
Yeah.
of course. And when you look over, and anyone else, if they want to see if they maybe notice something unusual, this would be like a perception related thing.
Take perception as a skill, but I could roll it.
I mean, I'll just take it straight. Why not?
Is it just a roll?
Yeah, so like everything else, it has a level associated with it, which will be hidden. But if you have a skill related to perception or perceiving things or noticing things, you can apply that. Otherwise, you can spend Bene from your perception pool.
I think I'm just gonna roll it straight.
I
Okay.
got two.
We'll do passive perception here, basically.
Yeah.
Holy crap cakes. Yeah, that's a 9.
Okay.
I got
Up.
a 9.
I thought yours was a 2.
Oh, I was just memeing. Sorry.
Oh. Okay. And what about the twins? Are the twins too engrossed with each other?
Yeah, we're busy drinking our.
Yeah. Okay.
Is he
So-
making eyes at each other? What? Ew.
So Dmitry
Oh.
notices this, that when Nigel looks at the mirror, his reflection is not mirroring. It's doing its own thing. And at the moment, it's like pounding on the glass.
Yeah. So I trapped you. Whatever.
And Mrs. Kilgara looks at it and then looks back at you and sort of shrugs her little cat shoulders and winks and says, Fair's fair.
All right. Hey there, folks. Why don't you fuck off? And I'm gonna I'm actually just gonna take my demon arm and like bat one of them away.
Oh,
Okay.
we could have used words.
All right. Sure. Absolutely. So they are a magical creature.
Mm-hmm.
So you need 2 successes.
Mm-hmm.
And
My demon arm is level 5.
Yeah. So they are. I won't bother hiding it. They're level 4, but they have +4 to dodge.
Little slippery shits.
Yeah, they're very nimble and quick. So they're a level 8 challenge, but so we'll start building your adventure. So 5 because your arm is a weapon, so it starts out at a 5. I'm gonna give you a shift of 2 in your favor on this one because it's like distracted, right? You're catching it sort of by surprise.
Okay.
So your adventure is currently at a 7.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. I think I will have to spend sortilege because the arm isn't like whatever that term is, right?
that's right. Yeah.
All right. And is this physicality or accuracy?
It would be accuracy.
I will spend a sortilege. Because that's the only way I'm going to hit him. And then, it's like, yeah, I'll just take my odds at that. That's fine.
Okay, because you only need a 1 or higher.
Yeah, but on both dice though, right?
Yes.
I'm good. 4 and a 2.
Okay, so you crack into them with this arm. What's it look like?
I'd literally just swing it, and I think that since it's like a level 5 thing, I think it's surprisingly fast, and it's because it's a light weapon. And I think when it moves, it almost like kind of it like slips even darker and almost like kind of fades as it moves, like has that kind of that shadow effect. It's like creating mirrors of itself, and I one of them.
All right, excellent. And did I tell you how much damage that does beyond just being a light weapon?
It's just typical light weapon damage. That's at least that's what I wrote down.
Okay, yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so you smack this daedal like pretty hard, and it cracks back, surprised, and is then very upset, and starts like all of them start yelling at you in like Saturnine, so the language of Saturnine as opposed to the language of their own half world. And it's sort of like basically like, how dare you? What the you hit me? Don't you know who I am? Don't you know who she is? Come to her defense.
Let's calm this down, and as I'm doing that, I'm going to weave a spell.
Okay.
And I'm going to weave sleep with speech to try to just put out a litany that will soothe, ideally, to unconsciousness.
Okay. So sleep and speech. Because you're sleeping. What's your other aggregate?
Wind.
That's right. There we go. Sleep and wind. Okay. So you are effectively going to try and knock them unconscious.
Yes. And if I can't do all of them like level wise, that's fine. I'll get a couple.
Oh yeah. So how much sorcery do you have?
I have 10 sorcery.
Okay.
There it is.
Adam Space.
All in on sorcery.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. I was a very average boy.
Let's see.
Well, I don't know shit, so I need raw talent to survive.
Yeah. So let's see. What is your default range? Is near.
Yeah, I have near and short, because you take the more beneficial ones. So ideally, I have the range and duration required.
Yeah, short and 1 round as your
Now,
defaults.
short and near.
Near is so your most beneficial yes, range is near, and your duration would be short.
Yeah.
And
Although I could, if I could offer let's call it a devil's bargain for a second.
mm-hmm.
Instead of it being, short, which is rounds check depletion, what if it was just like they fall unconscious, but then once it happens, it's not special. It's like, someone kicks them, they wake up.
Yeah, so I'm just checking for the base level here.
Yeah.
For knocking a bunch of things out. Because I think it is kind of on here.
I'm gonna look at the levels by effect table.
I mean,
Four has
certainly you can do it with up. I mean, like level 10, you can like enslave a creature's mind permanently.
Well, blind creatures on 4, and that's like sleeping and blinding feels kind of similar.
Yeah, and slower hinder a creature's movement is 3. So blinding 4, I'm gonna say 5.
Okay, and then I need to juice it up for more targets, right?
And you're gonna have to juice it up for that, and like the sort of duration. So let's call this like a level 7 effect.
That sounds great to me. And then I gotta roll a thing, right?
So you're gonna spend the 7 sorcery. You're gonna be rolling 2 dice. But they're level 4. The level 5, you don't need to roll. Your venture's higher than their challenge.
Oh yes, magic is good in this game.
Yes, you spend 7 sorcery, but then your venture starts out at 7. Yeah. And their defenses in this case would have been 5. So what's it look like when you weave this over the table, essentially?
So I'm doing this entirely unintentionally, like narratively. He just woke up. He's like, "What is this magic crap?" And so I'm literally just trying to diffuse the situation, and then just like that sleepiness that resides in him is just being channeled out into the words, and slowly it's almost like they stop paying attention to him, and then they just
Yeah. So they just like thud over one by one. And Mrs. Kilgara, the cat, pulls like a little bag out of nowhere and starts picking up all the tokens on the table and tucking them in.
I think I just made an enemy.
And then zips them up.
But you made an even better friend. And I'm going to give Mrs. Kilgara a wink. That's a demon. Oh, I shouldn't tell him that. I said it.
Wait, what?
Yeah. She's a demon. You think a wrong cat's gonna go toe to toe with a bunch of those little shits? I mean, I guess they would, but
this is the only one I know. There were other cats like that?
Yeah, there's plenty of wrong cats in the world, but she's not really a wrong cat.
Fascinating.
I'll just give the teacher like a little wink. I'm like, keep that between you, me, and the 20 people that just heard me blubber it out.
And like Mrs. Kilgara makes the little sack like disappear, sort of like it's almost like tucking it in her pocket, but there's no pocket there, and it seems to just disappear.
Well, I can do that too.
I might be able to help with that.
What, demons?
The people knowing.
No. It's like people might know, like everyone knows that. Well,
okay.
A lot of people know that particular version of her, but she's got other versions, I'm sure. I have a hunch.
So what are the twins doing over at the bar?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
And also Dmitry.
Dmitry was like about to get like ready to like walk towards the commotion, and then just like all went down, and he kind of like, oh, okay, and just like sits back down and sips on his drink.
Honestly, very big same. You know, there was some stuff going on and might have been worth getting involved in, but you know, now it seems over, so I got nothing.
I'm gonna pop over to the bar. Like, do you have something like the concept of coffee, but to like rouse you out of a coma?
Yeah, I got something.
Very tired.
Uh, and and he says, "Yeah, I've got something. This is called Gold Bull."
Is that a reference to what I think it's a reference to, Dan?
Of course.
Delightful.
And he pulls out sort of a bottle and pours this like very effervescent drink. It's a pale yellow liquid into like a highball glass, and slides over, and he says, "It's kind of like an emotion infused drink, but it has the essence of gold in it, rebirth sort of thing."
Thank you. I can't pretend to understand what you just said, but it feels right.
You're on the right path, son.
And I take it and I tap and down.
Yeah, and it's a very bubbly, it's very very refreshing, and it's like someone plugged a battery in. It's like a jolt of energy slams through you.
My tongue feels different.
And the wrong cat sort of like hops off the table and like struts by all of you and like hops up onto the bar.
Proud.
Looks at the bartender. The bartender like pours something in like a little shot glass and picks it up, drinks it, puts it back down. Looks at everyone and says, "Thanks for the +1."
Anytime.
I'll be seeing you around the coffee shop then. Yeah?
I got nothing better to do in my mornings. Everything interesting in this town happens at night.
That's right. This is between us and Zero here, huh?
Of course.
Sort of starts looking pointedly at the twins.
We won't say a word.
We won't say a word.
Good. Consider it a deal. And sort of leans closer and just says, "You don't want to cross me."
I mean, that's accurate. You seemed kind of polite so far. You're probably the nicest person to me thus far, except maybe
Isn't-
Dmitry.
She's not a person.
It is complicated. It is all right. We all are
She-
complicated.
She talks and seems intelligent.
Cats are people too.
Did you just come from the Grey or something?
I'm not sure. I woke up on a bench. I don't remember much. I feel like I came here for a reason, but everything is foggy, and the more I try to remember, the more tired I get. It's often worth it to just stop trying.
Interesting. Well, this has been a delightful party, but I actually have some business. This is after the masquerade, Dan, in the timeline. Not that time, whatever.
Yeah. I think this is before.
Oh, okay. Then I will wait.
And Mrs. Kilgara looks over at you and says, "A mutual friend wanted you to have this," and sort of like plucks out an envelope and slides it over to you.
Oh, thanks. I will open it right away.
Yeah.
Because I'm a savage.
And it's an invitation to a masquerade ball.
Hold on, let me get my mask.
and there's like a note scrawled on the bottom, and it not a note, just a single word in all capital letters: secrets.
I will turn to Dmitry and say, "Hey, you want to go to a masquerade together?"
You've not been to a party in some time. I would enjoy it.
Good. I'm gonna need help uncovering this secret.
I'm also a fan of uncovering secrets.
I'll help if you want.
I mean, you're welcome to come and party, but I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure your intentions are great, but I mean, and I shrug. I'm like, you're a weaver, aren't you? So it's not really.
I think so. It feels right.
Yeah, you are. So, and it's great, and I'm really happy for you and your journey, but I kind of only hang out with people of my own order and an occasional apostate.
I feel like I'm being judged here.
You are. Look at this face. This is the face.
Slightly.
This is the face of a man judging you.
But to be fair, it seems like he judges everyone.
Yeah.
What happened to your arm?
I made a deal, and I actually start looking around like, never mind. That story is not for here.
Well, if you ever want it back, I might be able to
Corey
do
in chat,
something.
I'm sorry.
I will look at you and say, I've got an arm. I've got a better arm. Why would I want the old one back?
Sometimes we yearn for what we've lost, not for what we have.
I don't.
Oh,
said
don't
if.
worry, friend. You are about to find very much what you have lost.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's true. Yeah, I'm gonna wait to use this spell.
Should we leave before they wake up?
The bugs. What are they gonna do?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Y'all know magic, right? They wake up. I mean, if we want to leave, you can leave. But like, if y'all know magic, they wake up. We use magic. Keep going.
I'm like 70% sure I can do magic.
Confess that my magical abilities need an hour to refresh themselves.
What? You spend your whole morning like resting or something, casting spells.
Yes, the sun has set.
Wow, you're winded already.
You do have like your 2 action rests and a 10-minute rest, and
I think he used them? Question mark?
you use them all.
Unfortunately, Vance's need an hour to reset their
Oh,
mind.
the Vance spells. Yes.
Oh, that's a good point, though. I'll use my 10-minute to get my sorcery pool back up to 10.
Sure. I'll just let you know. Like, we're basically gonna move into to wrap up.
I know, but like it makes sense.
Absolutely. And I want to call them the Winklevoss twins.
Yeah, me too. Oh, good. Creepy ass, blonde ass twins.
While you were sort of talking, when your attention was drawn back to the bar, seated in between you, written neatly on a napkin, like a zeros napkin, is just seemingly a phrase. And it just says, "The Vizier of 1,000 Names." And there is a stylized little drawing of a black cube. And that's where we're going to end.
What is that?
Shit.
All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in for Vislae, our anthology series. All these stories are connected. All of our actualities are tied together. As the Suns Burn, Vislae. What name are you using, Matthew, for your shows so far?
We don't have a series name yet. I feel like
Yep.
that's going to have to be a conversation between me and Alexis, and she's going to run over there too. I didn't want to name it
Perfect.
without her knowledge, her input.
Sure, but yeah, you've had at least one game so far.
Yeah, called What's in a Name?
What's in a Name over on Dice Priority, and we're building this out, and everyone here has PDF or full physical copies of the Black Cube either arrived or on the way. And,
On the floor behind me.
That's right. As we are expanding our actuality streaming universe that we're going to operate in. So thanks for joining as we've introduced some new characters and dropped some secrets. We'll go around and folks can tell us your favorite moment. And we'll also do your acumen and joy despair for your character. So let's start with Alex.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alex. You can find me on Twitter at axolotl. I don't think... as for an arc, I took Aid a Friend, which would be Emil.
Yep.
Because he is attempting to solve or uncover a mystery. If that mystery is going after the Black Cube, oh boy, we definitely made some progress there.
Oh boy.
Beyond that, I don't know. I just had fun.
Excellent. I did too. And the default, if no one has something that otherwise would bring them despair, just going to zeros for the first time in your life is worthy of joy.
Mm.
Mark that on my sheet.
And did you have an idea, Sam, for what Emil's secret that they wanted to uncover is?
No. So I would actually qualify finding that napkin as opening the arc,
Sure.
maybe. So, although I don't have acumen yet, but this is just my starting.
Yeah, you're starting one, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the Black Cube. The secret could be anything and still end up involving the Black Cube.
Right. So that's
Okay.
great start.
So I think we got you started on uncovering a secret, whatever form it takes. So
Mhm.
we'll give you the acumen, and then Evie will also get acumen for aiding a friend,
Nice.
and you can take joy from going to zeros. And what was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment. I really liked when the cat, I can't remember her name. I'm sorry, Mrs. Kilgara?
Mrs.
that right?
Kilgara, yeah.
Kilgara, sorry. Interrupted our game with very cat things. Flipping the board and using her scary human hands to play the game. I'm actually really
Yes.
delighted that she's a weaver, because to advance we have to study with another weaver, and I would really love to study with the cat.
Oh, she knew the spider's game. She is not a weaver.
Oh,
That's another
plot
kind
twist.
of tea.
Okay. Didn't know that.
Mrs.
Oh.
Kilgara, or Mrs. Kilgrath, she has multiple names, is in fact a demon of the dark.
I feel like I knew that because I watched
So-
that first session, but I forgot.
How she happens to know the secrets of the spider's game?
Loki
That-
just ate my soul, and that's how.
Yeah, that is definitely interesting. But yes, interrupting with very cat-like things is my favorite thing to do with cats. Perfect. All right. All right, let's go over to Nat.
Hi. I don't know how Acumen Joy Despair gets generated. Hardly at
Okay,
all.
so I didn't do any shifts. So you either get a joy, a despair, or nothing on the joy despair front. And there's some suggestions in the book based on like your order and forte and stuff for things that might bring you joy and despair. But in the absence of any of those being triggered, going to zeros for the first time is worthy of a joy. That's actually a thing.
All right. So, and then my character arc, which to Acumen, I believe, is to try to learn my name, and
Yes.
I'm low key trying to find someone who knew me before, but I
Yeah,
don't think that's happened yet.
But that vision that you had is a clue.
Right.
And so that is a step on your path.
So that's an Acumen, I believe.
That is an acumen.
Cool. And then my favorite moment was when Emil did the weaving to put the secrets in stone on the wall, and I was just like, wow, that is entirely perfect. And also, thanks for reminding me I have magic.
That was
Excellent. Yes, it was Evie, but you guys get switched on the thing there. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked at the overlay and it betrayed me.
Yes. All right. And Adam.
Hello. Yes, I am Adam. Adam _J _Pearson, because I made my Twitter handle way too long ago and I used underscores like a dummy. My favorite moment tonight was, first of all, just getting to play Invisible Sun finally, especially with these lovely folks. But getting to mix it up with Nigel, that was pretty fun. He's a character.
Nigel is indeed a character.
As far as developments, character arc wise, I think I might have done 2 steps, because the first one is getting to know you. You get an Acumen award for what you know about another character, and I kind of did the connection to the Vancian order, knowing a little bit about Nigel, and then the second step is introducing yourself and like making contact, and we kind of contact.
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
That's it. That sounds good to me, Nigel. As I'm assuming, yeah, that's like a
Absolutely.
because of course that arc can always fail, right? Like,
yep,
arcs can fail, but
yep.
So far, you're making progress towards having Nigel as a mentor.
It's not like you pick someone unbelievably unstable or anything.
Yeah, no. And I think I watched a little bit of our potential future happen in front of us.
I believe it.
Great. It's not great.
If you draw out Nigel's web of deals and promises, it gets real tangled.
So I think that's 2 acumen, and then
that is 2 acumen.
A joy for going to zeros for the first time.
Perfect. All right, Matthew.
So yeah, hi. I'm Matthew Foreman at Matthew W. Foreman on Twitter. Follow me on there and enjoy. My favorite moment was actually that whole altercation between the two. That whole scene, beginning to end, like the thaw coming, people's spells, the way they approached it. That was all great. I really enjoyed myself, and I enjoyed it mostly because I didn't have to do anything. That's my favorite.
That sortilege.
Yeah, well, oh yeah, that's true. That was nice. And as far as Joy and Despair, I think I'm really angling to get Despair. I witnessed that whole altercation between the Vances actually did bother Nigel, because as much as a rebel he is, he saw two Vances go at it, and because of the intervention of his new apprentice, the other Vance's spells did not work as intended. And even though, and that is just like a core thing. Like, these things are like formulas and they have to work. So I believe he gets a Despair.
Perfect.
And then, which I immediately convert to a Crux with the Joy I have. And
It's what they do.
And he did not advance his arc, I don't think, in any meaningful way.
Yeah.
So
okay. Perfect. All right, and we've tied that into getting the invitation to the masquerade, as well as because Nigel's not going to be there this Saturday, right? For that, because you have other obligations.
I do, unfortunately. Yeah, bad timing.
But perhaps if Adam is available, he might be able to sub in.
Ooh,
Perhaps
I'm available.
Well,
but that's up to Alex.
Well, that's up to Alex. Yeah, I won't.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. Excellent. All right.
Does that
so
mean I get to play with Dan again?
with me as a player.
And Dan's helping me too.
That's right. My character is helping Nigel, while also going after my own ends. All right. So yes, thank you, Maria. In chat, reminder: it is September here at Twitch. It is coming to a close. There is literally never a better time to subscribe to Variant Roles.
Be a sub today.
Be a sub today. It is half price, and you get a whole lot of enjoyment with us and what we do here. So coming up tomorrow, we got a couple of games. One of which is GM'd by Adam, with your Dresden Files Portland Fate game. And you can check our schedule in chat, which should be reasonably up to date. I didn't update it this week, but it should be close. Thank you so much, Nat, for gifting those subs. And if you want to see more Invisible Sun, come on Saturday. Alex will be in the GM's chair again to complete the two-parter that we started last week, which ties into all of these shenanigans. And I will be here as a player, and Sam will be here as a player, and we'll be joined by Nox as well. And we'll see how things go, because it was off the rails last week. And that's the only way I can describe it. And also Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern for Nox's Indie Showcase romance games, Nox and I are going to play Neither Heaven Nor Hell, which is from Kiana. And we are going to be playing our Avernus drop-in characters, a Tiefling Paladin and an Aasimar Paladin, who are in for a tragic romance. Because we've gone into it determined that it is indeed a tragic story. So that should be great. And I mean, that's pretty much it. I put our schedule on the channel. There's a whole bunch of stuff. We have literally, as of this week, until I think near the end of November, every day on Variant Roles has something. Has at least one show, and many days have two. Or in the case of weekends, 3 or 4. So
Weekends are busy.
Weekends are busy. So literally tune in and don't check out. And there is all kinds of good content coming. MCG mixtape, other than some Saturday appearances, will be off until December-ish. But there is something in this time slot. You'll still see my beautiful face. Come and check out Project VHS, Void Horror in Space, which will be launching next Thursday in this time slot, GM'd by me, and with a fantastic cast of 6 wonderful players, including many of your favorites from here on the channel, and we will be seeing what the Void has in store for us. no one will walk out unscathed. So,
What a promise! What a promise!
what a promise.
No viewer, no Dan, nobody.
No one will walk away unscathed. No, Johnny, it's not a finale. MCG Mixtape and Vislae is like an anthology series, so it doesn't have a set schedule, and we have many other Invisible Sun games. So Saturday evenings is normally As the Suns Burn. We're in between season 1 and season 2. Season 2 is going to premiere in November, but still through the rest of October, we're going to have other people coming in and GMing. And I will often be a player, or I'll GM if no one else is available, and have many recurring characters. And if you follow like Dice Priority as well, and just follow us here, follow us on Twitter at Variant Rolls to stay really up to date. There is going to be all kinds of Invisible Sun content going on. So, all right. See you later, folks.